Welcome, everybody, to another fresh episode of the Freedom Mastery podcast. And as always, I'm here with somebody who's going to bring amazing value to you guys. And this time, I'm going to surprise you a little bit because this person is not so much related to property. However, her story and her business background is so amazing that I thought it would definitely help you on your journey, whether you're already doing something within property or maybe you're thinking about another business. So without further ado, I'm very, very happy to welcome Rachel. Please kick it off and tell people who you are, what you do.
Hi guys, my name's Rachel and I own two businesses. So I have a hair and beauty salon and I also have an e-commerce online business selling hair extensions and hair products.
Wow, that's amazing. So it sounds like you can definitely tell that you work within the beauty industry. And tell me, like, was it always like that? How did it all start for you? That would be interesting to know.
How it all started. So I never ever planned to get into business,
Mhm.
specifically into the beauty world. I actually went to uni and did a degree in criminology, which I've never used.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I literally did my degree and never used it. I was going to join the police force. That was my aim in life, my kind of life goal when I was young, is to be a police officer. And then as soon as I left uni, I kind of got an idea for a business of clip-in hair extensions. So, and at the time, there wasn't really any competition. It was kind of, I found like a niche in the market. So, yeah, I started my business when I was 22.
Oh, wow. Okay, amazing. So how did you actually come up with this idea? Why hair extensions? Did you feel that this is something for you, or you literally just wanted to use the gap in the marketplace?
No, I absolutely wanted longer, thicker hair myself. And
Right.
at the time, the only salons that did extensions back then were in London, and they were so expensive. And as a student, I could not afford those sort of prices. And it was mainly celebrities, like Victoria Beckham and people like that were having hair extensions back in those days. So I kind of stumbled upon like this idea of like sewing clips on hair and clipping them in yourself, and then you can take them out. And so yeah, I spent 6 months in my bedroom at my mum's house doing research, doing a business plan. I went to the bank for a loan. And then I had to go back to college actually. In the end, to train in hair extensions because I had no previous kind of qualifications or anything like that. And I wanted to fit them as well. So yeah, that's what I did.
Wow. So it first of all, I can see a few things that are kind of very common to myself. First of all, you associated yourself with the business that you wanted to develop. You wanted to have your hair extension yourself. Then you found there is a gap in the marketplace. You saw that it's very hard for regular people to afford because it was very expensive at that time. You wanted to make it more affordable to people, and you've done it through a normal way of research, building a business plan and getting yourself trained. That to me are essential steps in order to start a business rather than just having one idea today and literally starting the entire business without any business plan, without any preparations. I think this would be probably the reason number one why a lot of businesses actually fail, because they just skip ahead this preparation phase. And you, from what you say, you spent 6 months building a business plan plus your training in a college, which is absolutely amazing because that's why you're good at what you do, because you've done your training very well.
That's right. I think the first step with any business, if someone is thinking of starting a business, is to invest in yourself, first
Yeah.
of all, into the skill set you're going to need for your business, whether that's doing an online course or going back to college or just going to, I don't know, seminars or networking events or anything that's going to help you to gain more knowledge, and more experience in the field or your industry that you're looking to get into.
Right. And when you actually started, like, okay, you had an idea, you had your training. Now there was that big step for you to start a business. And because it was your first business, you will never be able to tell whether it's going to succeed or not. So
Yeah.
what did you feel at that point? Did you feel that you were overwhelmed, or maybe you were excited, you were so confident about your success? I want to know all that.
To be honest, like I didn't know if it was going to be successful, but I'm the sort of person that I'll always try at things.
Right.
Even if I fail, I will try again or try at something else. Like that doesn't, the failure side of it doesn't bother me. I'll always put myself out there.
Yeah.
But so my first clip-in hair extension business, yeah, I just started with a bank loan and basically got a website built. It was a really cheap, basic e-commerce website. It went online, it went live, and for some reason I started getting orders straight away. I don't know how, but people were finding my website. I think also because there was only one other website that sold these clip-in hair extensions at the time. So there was definitely like a gap in the market, and obviously that took off, and I was making them by hand, actually, these extensions.
Wow.
Yeah, so they would take me an hour per set on average to make them. So I'd sew all the hair, I'd use a sewing machine. I taught myself actually how to use a sewing machine. So when I say
Wow.
about investing in yourself and investing in your skill set, it's really important. So I learned how to use a sewing machine. I'd never used one in my life before this. So I'm sewing all these hair extensions, I'm sewing all the clips on, I'm packaging them, I'm getting them posted out every day. And that's when I thought, you know what, I want to start fitting hair extensions. I want to be able to actually put physically them in people's hair that are going to be more permanent rather than the clip-ins. So yeah, that's when I branched out into the fitting side. But the clip-in business was a success.
Amazing.
It was just very time consuming. And I knew that I could potentially have a bigger business by offering services in person.
Wow. What a story. Like I'm so happy that for you the first business actually, started well, and it gave you the opportunity to think about another business. In fact, I think when somebody starts a business and that business starts generating income, that one business very often leads to another one. To
Yes.
me, when I started doing what I do, which is obviously, managing properties and doing rent to rent, I at that point I never had a clue that I'm going to be coaching and mentoring in that space. But when I started doing this and I started acquiring those properties and I started doing that pretty successfully, then I was recognized by my mentor, etc., etc. I was in different shows, in a book, and then I started getting inquiries from people like, how did you do it so fast? Like, how amazing that you're doing so well. What's your secret and all that? I then started thinking about, and that was actually my wife as well telling me, if people are asking you all those questions and the technical like questions, why don't you just teach them how to do it? Because you know it, like you do it day in, day out, and you're good at it. So why don't you just do it? Like, why don't you just teach people? And that led me to create another business. And again, very similar to your story. Hey there, I'm getting inquiries from people asking for help with their rent-to-rent business in order to start or grow it to 6 figures in profit. The best way to get hold of me is to text me on 075 22 571 026. That's 075 22 571 026. I will get back to you as soon as I can, and I'll help you with whatever you need. Now let's get back to the video. Which obviously is great, but I also always say to people in the podcast, to my clients, to my students, that in life nothing is always going so smooth. So it's always also good, and remember that business is not only about the good stuff, but there will be some bad stuff happening in business as well. So I want to ask you, like, what would be your maybe one biggest, or if not the biggest, like what would be your few biggest challenges in your professional journey from the moment you started your business?
Hmm. Okay, so I would say my first biggest challenge was the recession in 2008.
Okay.
So yeah, I started my business in 2005.
Okay.
It had been going about 3 years, and then the recession hit, and then it was a case of nobody's got any money. Am I going to survive this? Luckily, women are always going to want their hair doing. So I did survive the recession. My next biggest challenge was opening my first salon, which I did with another girl who I thought, well, I thought she was my friend. It turned out she wasn't. And I took a massive financial hit when things didn't go as planned. So I'd probably say actually that was my biggest challenge in my business life. And it's made me not want to ever go into business with anybody else again. I've just done it on my own ever since, and it's paid off. So, not that you shouldn't have a business partner, just be careful who you pick to be your business partner, would be my advice with that.
Wow, that is very, very strong. Unfortunately, recession is something that you have no control over. You can only just have, a permanent established business where you're going to have a database of clients who will always come back to you. And it sounds like this is exactly what you had and how you strive through the recession. What you can do, however, is how you control the environment and obviously who you're working with and who is your JB partner. And I believe that it's so crucial. Like if you choose your business partner for anything, it's like I always say, first of all, that has to be a person who you would love to spend a dinner with. Like you would love to go out for a dinner and you just love to speak to them about business, about personal life, etc. Because if you don't feel so well about them, then probably they are not a right fit for your JV partnership.
Well, I did feel that way about her. That's why I said we were friends. We went on holidays together. I
Okay.
genuinely believe she was my friend.
And even then, it turned out to be not such a great relationship. Well, so I agree. Relationships are great, like business partnerships are great. You just really have to be careful and protect yourself from anything that can go wrong. And in business, things can go wrong. It's worth accepting, isn't it?
I think the biggest mistake I made in that situation was not signing a shareholders agreement
Okay.
because I
Right.
trusted her. The bank or whoever it was at the time, solicitor, recommended we did sign a shareholders agreement in case anything went wrong. And I was so young and naive. I was like, nothing's going to go wrong. We're best friends. Yeah, so that came back to bite me.
Mm. Yes, absolutely. So there you go. Technical stuff. Very, very basic though, isn't it? Because when it comes to money in life, whether that's your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friend, whatever that is, whoever that is, yeah, agreement is always good to have. And the more watertight, the better, isn't it?
Exactly that.
Mm.
But learn from your mistakes.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
should learn from your mistakes.
Absolutely. I never had a business partner. I always wanted to start my business solo. And then, if anything, I want to just bring people who I choose to work in my business, but I never started a business with somebody else. I would say it's a concept that I'm open to if I was to start another business in future, but I would be definitely very, very careful. And it would have to be done through a right contract because if not, then you're very vulnerable in that position. And business has to be more predictable than just a verbal agreement, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the only other person I would get involved in my business would be an investor now. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I appreciate that because we don't have to think about business that you all of a sudden have to have this big business where you've got so many people like around you and all that. You can be a solopreneur. That's what they call them, right?
Yeah,
You can also be one, and then you can just have freelancers working for you, or you can have employees. This is exactly what you do, isn't it?
that's right. Yeah. So I've got 5 girls in total. So yeah.
Okay. That's in a salon, yeah?
That's right. Yeah.
Amazing. How do you find managing them?
It's not too bad if I'm honest. It has its challenges like any business. But overall, like I have such a good team and I'm very grateful, very lucky. They're amazing girls. I trust them. They're great at what they do. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, I'm very lucky in that sense.
And obviously, we spent a little bit more time than just on Zoom, right? So I know you a bit better than that. So I can definitely tell that maybe there was a little bit of element of luck, but you're also a great leader because you're so confident and you're so passionate about what you do. So you've built a team around you, and it wasn't a random thing. So because you were a great leader, you created this team that you can trust and everything. So that is something that a lot of people could learn from you, like how to build a team, a reliable team where you can trust them so much that you can spend your time however you want, and you just simply coordinate them, you manage them, and then the time that you've got, you just enjoy your life. And I think you're a prime example how setting up a business or businesses in life are there to set you free and create a lifestyle that you dream about. And I want that's going to be my next question. Like, tell me a bit more about what difference in your life the business made. I'm not gonna say because I see you like traveling all the time and enjoying your life, but I want you to say like how big of a difference it made.
Freedom, honestly. I feel like I have freedom, like exactly that. Um, so by stepping away from the business, it's enabled me to work on the business rather than in the business, which
Yep.
has helped it to grow. I feel like if I was still working in the salon, I would not be at the stage I'm at now at all. I obviously worked very, very hard for 18 years in that business. I've done all the hard work. And I think it got to the stage where I built my team. It was time to build my team, time for me to take a step back and to be able to actually work on the business and see things from a different perspective, stepping outside of it as a business owner rather than as a worker. And I actually work more now than I did when I was in the salon, believe it or not. I literally get up at 5:30 most days, 6 o'clock latest. I go to the gym in the morning, and which is amazing. I mean, I love that I get to go to the gym, but I would have done that. I did do that when I worked at the salon anyway. And then I don't really finish work till about 7, 8 p.m. at night. So I'm constantly working with business coaches, doing online training, Zoom calls, like the social media. I'm learning sales psychology, marketing. I'm now increasing my knowledge and my skills so that I can take the business to the next level. But I also get to enjoy lots of holidays because I do have the freedom to go on holiday when I like. So yeah, I do go away quite a lot, but I also work a good few hours a day still while I'm on holiday. So it's not all fun and play. It is
Mm,
still, but I feel like I have a good balance. Like I work a lot,
yes.
but I choose to at the end of the day. It's my choice. If you don't, if you're not consistent and you're not dedicated or motivated with your business, you're not ever going to go to that next level. You have to put the
Wow.
time in, you have to put the effort in. If I just said, right, I'm going to go on holiday the whole year and didn't do a single thing, my business is not going to grow.
Right. I'm with you. I completely understand. And I can say that your life balance is absolutely amazing. Like, I see this year you probably went away to a few different countries around the world, but you still sort of dedicate your time for your gym, you still dedicate your time for your work, even though you're away, and your self-development, like your dedication to your self-development is amazing. And the reality is like, and I want to emphasize one thing, because when you start a business, of course you're going to be doing everything. You're going to be doing a bit of sales, you're going to be doing a lot of operations, marketing, getting new clients. You do all that at the beginning. If you want to stay like that, you can stay, but it just means that you will never grow. But if you start growing your team, you can start, getting some freelancers maybe on your business. They will be doing all the heavy lifting. Then it releases the time for you, so you can start building new skills that, in essence, will just produce more revenue in the future, isn't it? This is exactly what you've done.
100%. I've got marketing agencies that I've employed. I've got a website team that do my websites for me. I've got various business coaches. I go to business events as much as I can. I'm constantly at business events. I went on a business retreat earlier this year.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm constantly working with people who are more knowledgeable than myself, people who can help to take my business to the next level, and they're experts at what they do. That's the only way you're going to be able to grow your
Yeah.
business is to, take advice, gain knowledge, and learn from those who are good at what they do, so they
But
can help
yeah.
your business.
No, absolutely. I agree with you like 100%. Environment is also crucial with it. And I agree. If you want to stay solo, we can stay solo. But if you're thinking about making it bigger, just think outside of the box and think that you need to grow the skills, because the growing the skills will allow you to make more money in life. It's not about putting more work, working harder. It's about growing skills and making it actually easier. And also, I want to ask, because one of the reasons why I thought you would be a great person to be on a podcast as well is to ask you, like, now that you created this lifestyle that you dreamed of, that you've got what you wanted, you also are thinking about, or you already have started in one way, shape, or form investing in property, which I want to ask you, like, what's part of your life, what's part of you, like, driving you towards, property investing, and what do you think you're going to be doing in property investing world?
Yeah, so I think property is one of the best investments you can make in life. I mean, I
Okay.
know some people are into stocks and shares, trading, crypto, but that's never been my thing. And I think that can be quite unpredictable as well. So I bought my first property, it was actually back in 2008 during the recession.
What a time to buy a property.
Yeah, and then yeah, anyway, so basically I'm going to invest in some more this year. I believe that the appreciation in property, it's always going to go up in value.
Hmm.
Even if it does go down, it's still going to go back up in the long term, in the future. And to have, another income, multiple streams of income is very important to me, not just to
Yeah.
rely on businesses, but to also have other revenue coming in. And yeah, so that is my next on the agenda, basically, to buy some more
Hmm.
investment properties. And I don't have a pension for myself. I think a lot of self-employed people might be in the same position as me, where I'm going to rely on, my business and my properties to provide a pension when I'm old.
I think the way you're heading into the future, it's not going to be just a pension for you. It's probably going to be pension for people who's going to, just be after you. But that you may just, give that business to somebody else when you're at a certain age or something. But there's going to be definitely that generational wealth that you're building right now, which is
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. All I have to say is that I'm so impressed with your success, with your story, because you're showing that you've been grinding and you've been doing this for 18 years. It didn't happen overnight. And when people go on YouTube and different ads and show you this shiny penny that you can get wealthy in like a week or so, people very often fall for that and they very often get burned. I think that this is a prime example that whatever is good in life needs to take time, and
yeah,
there will be phases. There will be a bit of struggle, there will be a bit of pain, there will be a failure involved. You have to take this into account as well. But you can do it hard way, or you can do it the easier way, where you could kind of learn the skills, where you have the right coaches, the mentors, and then it becomes easier for you, isn't it?
exactly that. I think nothing in life worth having comes easy. Unfortunately, in this day and age, everybody wants a quick fix. Whatever it is in life, they want it like straight away.
Yeah.
To build a good business and to build a good brand, it's going to take quite a while. It's not going to happen overnight. It's just you see some businesses that they do happen overnight, but they soon go.
Yeah.
They're not long lasting.
Hmm.
Um, they don't stand the test of time. And there's some statistic of how many businesses fail in the first like few years or something, and how many businesses, if they make it past like 5 years, it's a very, very small number. So yeah, I think you have to put the hard work in, you have to be consistent, you have to invest into yourself, invest into coaches and courses and anything you can, to help you succeed.
And that's incredible, because every single person that I talked to, even every single person that I invited to the podcast so far, and every single person I will invite into the podcast, they always had something going on. Like they always had to sort of personally develop themselves, get the skills, and people always take the short, easy way, which is obviously investing into either a course or a mentor, but they do invest in themselves. And I think that's the one prime thing that distinguishes people who are successful from people who dream about being successful, but they never get there.
I agree. I think another important thing that helped me a lot was reading books. I read so many
Okay.
books on business and listened to so many podcasts. And I think that's also, you get that valuable knowledge from books and podcasts. So it's very important to, yeah, listen to podcasts like this one or read books and stuff. That's helped me a
Ooh,
lot over the years.
that's incredible. Like, what's your favorite? What's your favorite book? Do you
Not
have a
the
favorite?
Recently, I read Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO.
Got you.
Quite a big book, but it had a lot of business lessons that even I wasn't aware of. So I felt like I learned a lot from that book.
Amazing. That's great. My favorite one is Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad and the
Oh,
Quadrant.
yes, I was going to say that.
Um,
I love
So I
that
think
book.
that's one of the most common ones, but it's opening your eyes very much. And also the rich dad's like quadrant, where you've got like people who are employed, self-employed, businesses and investments. This is exactly what you said. that, you know, we can be on the left hand side where you like always working and trading your time, or you can be on the right hand side of your other quadrant, building businesses and investing money into like assets, just like property, for example. So that's going to be the major difference. But until you don't realize, you cannot implement in life. That's amazing. Rachel, I really, really love everything you said. I do appreciate you being in the podcast. I'm sure that a lot of people would get inspired from it. Your story is amazing. Like, your story is amazing. And I wish you very, very all the best and good luck with your future ventures as well as your current businesses. And, you know, if there is somebody trying to stop you, just run them over.
It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me on your podcast. And yeah, it's been great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'll see you around. See you soon.